Good day and welcome aboard, everyone. My name is HarleyTrek, and these are the voyages. I hope today finds you well. I am great. I'm out and about on two wheels, and I'd be a little bit better, though, if this traffic would get to getting, for goodness sakes. Of course, admittedly, we're at the speed limit, but what are you gonna do? Sometimes one lane is one lane. It should open up here in a minute as we get out of bustling downtown Trenton, Georgia. Today, my friends, I want to address and do my small part in correcting a view, a misconception. That is the word I'm looking for. Hello. I prefer flippy up headlights myself on a Corvette. Not that I'll be buying one of those anytime soon. And I don't know how pervasive this misconception or preconception is. I want to do my best to debunk it. And that misconception is that Harley-Davidson Sportsters are chick bikes. The Harley-Davidson Sportster, for many, many years, well, since 1957 and its debut, has been the littlest Harley. Not by much, but it has been the littlest Harley. The Dynas are not that much larger in the grand scheme of Harley-Davidsons, but they are the next size up in the current model run, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It has been known to happen. But as a sporty rider myself, and while I've not been directly subject to this, I've heard it out there, and a good friend of mine who rides a Sportster Iron, you know him as Orvis128, has actually been told to his face that he needs to get a bigger motorcycle because he's riding a girl's motorcycle. Excuse the colorful language, but that is bullshit. The Harley-Davidson Sportster was designed and used as the race Harley-Davidson for many, many years. It has indeed been the longest single continually manufactured model run in the history of the company. Available in 883 cc's and 1200 cc's. They are a true Harley-Davidson. If you look at just heritage and longevity, they are more Harley-Davidson than old Cashier. The Street Glide has not been around that long in the history of the company. So if you want to look at heritage, and that's what all Harley-Davidson is about, the Sportster wins that trophy. Now, you can say, well, great. It's been around a long time. It's been through several evolutions and revolutions, but it's still little, and chicks ride those bikes. Well, yes, they do. They also ride these. They ride Ultra Classics. They ride Road Glides. They ride Dyna Glides. And I think partially the mystique, no, that's not the proper word, but anyway, just go with it. If a woman wants to ride her own bike, and they should, in my opinion, it's great to ride with your man, but trust me, ladies, there's nothing like throwing a leg over your own bike and getting on down the road. if they want to ride a Harley, they're intimidated. Well, actually, in all fairness, just like I was when I began riding, I wasn't going to bite off one of these things learning how to ride a motorcycle. I got a Sportster. So they think, well, this is the littlest Harley and I want to ride a Harley, so that's going to be what it is. And that's great. The Sportster's not necessarily, well, not necessarily, it's not at all the littlest Harley any longer. With the advent of the street line of Harley-Davidson, imported from India, the 500 and 750cc variants of that bike make that the littlest Harley. And I don't think in the time they've been out that I've actually ever seen anyone riding one on the road. Of course, I may just not recognize it in passing, but that's a topic for another day. But the Sportster is not only one of the longest models in production for Harley-Davidson, it's also one of the most popular. Yeah, it's more entry level. I mean, you can get a brand new Sportster 48 for a little over 10 grand, maybe 15 grand. I've seen some stickers run as high as that. Whereas this fella here is pert near twice that. So it's a great entry level bike and it performs well. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles. There are some of those out there that hate the bells and whistles. It gets in the way of their ride, and that's why they make more than one model. Ride your own ride what you like. But just if you're in doubt, go to YouTube, type Sportster in the search box, and just see how many guys, and it's still predominantly guys, that are riding Sportsters. The irons, the 48s, the Nightsters, the customs. Myself, I ride a low version, the 883 variant. They are out there, boys and girls, and at least if you judge by YouTube traffic, there are guys riding these bikes. I follow several of them. Blockhead, the Alien Beard, Orvis 128, Dan the Fireman. There are just tons of Sportsters out there, and I dare say that if you dub that motorcycle a chick bike, then you need to get your head out of your own ventral orifice and take another think about it, because boys and girls, they're out there. They are tough motorcycles. And I dare say that if I did not have a Sportster already that has great sentimental value to me, both being my first motorcycle and also being my father's motorcycle, I would look really hard at having one for a second bike. I really, really would. I love the look of the iron. I think it's a badass bike. And I would challenge anybody to call it a chick's bike. So on that note, my friends, ride them if you got them, and live long and prosper.